I don't know why I act surprised every time that thing turns on, but I am. Hello, my name is Sandra, and welcome to the channel. Let's just get right into it. I ain't got time to waste. I signed a lease on an apartment in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, sight unseen. Never saw it. Got on a plane all the way from America and arrived. And when I tell you, it was not what it should have been. It was not what I expected. And hold on, I'll show you. A picture's worth 1,000 words. So let's just get right into it. Let me see if I can pull it up for y'all. And you tell me if I'm over. This is what I was welcomed by. So y'all take a good gander. Hold on. I'm gonna roll through the pictures, but I need to get y'all over here so I can see the comments. So let me pull up YouTube on my phone. At any rate, my name is Sandra and welcome to the channel. The name of my channel is From Lack to Legacy. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you've been here before, you already know the drill. Get down in the comments, say hello. Tell me where you are from and tell me if you have ever rented anything sight unseen. I don't advise it. It's not wise. And I know better. It's not like I haven't been here before. I've been here. I know better. But I did it anyway. So look, okay, in case you don't know what you're looking at, y'all, can you see these pictures? Please tell me y'all can see these pictures. This is the inside of the refrigerator. This is those striations. There are gaps in between the wood. I know somebody's gonna say, girl, is that all? No, look at the walls. This is the bathroom. Is it me? Can you all see the smudges? I think it was actual soap scum still on the bathroom walls. I'm just saying. This is the door jamb in the bathroom. Now, before y'all get to calling me a passenger princess and a princess, I'm just trying to tell you, this is exactly what it looked like when I walked through the door. And so not only was the jams dirty, wait till y'all see it. Now, this is a stark contrast to my first rental. When I first moved in a year ago in another tower, everything was brand new, brand new. I literally was taking the packaging off the bed. I had to unpack the TV, all the things. And this is what I got this time. Can you all see the dirt all over the door? I was like, y'all didn't even bother to wipe down the door. There was a tenant in here before. This is above the kitchen cabinet. This is the one that took me out. This right here. This is above those cabinets right behind me. So you're probably asking yourself, well, Sandra, what was you doing up on top of the cabinets? Inspecting. Because when I came in, I had already told the agent that I was working with that, I'm sensitive to smoke. I'm a non-smoker. That smoking will just take me right out. It gets in my throat. Most non-smokers can smell it a mile away. So I'm a non-smoker. Like I don't smoke cigarettes. Do with that information what you will. I don't smoke cigarettes. And so I told him, I neglected to tell him that I was allergic to dust and dirt. I would think you wouldn't have to tell somebody that. That's the top of the cabinets. Y'all feeling my pain? That's grease, grime. That is the top. So whenever you turned on the fan, I noticed that when I turned on the fan, my throat would get tickly. And so I'm like, okay, something in here is amiss. If the grime is so deep that you can write your name in it, you got yourself a problem. This is the cooktop. Now, keep in mind, I've rented here before, and I'll tell you exactly why I was so appalled. Because when I got ready to check out of my apartment last year, that inspector came through like the Gestapo. Fine tooth comb, he went through everything. He was trying to charge me, because they'll take that out of any repairs or any cleaning that needs to be done. They take it out of your deposit. So he was going through the apartment. I'm like, oh my God, I had done a perfect job of keeping it clean and all that stuff, but little piddly things. So of course, when I'm coming in, I know they must have done the same thing to the previous tenant. They must have put her through the paces. And surely they have, when they take your deposit, they're making the repairs that they say. I'm not so sure. Look at this. Look at this. Somebody look at this. This is the ceiling tile in the kitchen. It looks like somebody just had their little grubby paws. I'm sure that's where they service. That's where they service the AC. But can you see that? This is where they had clearly tried to retouch the paint and use two different paint colors. And I'm telling y'all, I know these sound like first world problems, but imagine this in contrast to my first place. This is the paint on the ceiling. Now that little smudge up here, that's my camera. But that sloppy paint and all that, yeah, those little round splotches, that's from my camera. But all of this poorly paint, yeah, 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 yeah. That's what it looked like when I first got in here. Is anybody feeling my pain? So today, I want to tell you, I could have avoided all of this had I not been one, too eager, too trusting, and had I not sent, yeah, Now, did they fix it all? Most of it. I'll give you that. Stop, let me stop sharing. Wait a minute, let me stop sharing my email and stuff. Okay. I don't know. I'm sure I don't know how much of my email y'all saw. But at any rate, that's what I walked into. And so I had to take a breath. Even then, I have to take a breath now because it still kind of irritates me. Not that it was the it was so egregious, but that it happened at all. What I'm not being a passenger princess. Thank you. I don't feel like that. I picked this building and I picked it again because of the level of cleanliness. I picked it because there was no mold. And we talked about this before. When you're in a tropical climate where it's really hot, there is, always the chance that you could have mold or, that mildewy smell. And so I picked this building because it was so clean. Literally, I wish I could take y'all out in the hallway so you could see how clean. The halls are so clean. I swear you can see your reflection on the floor. Another way that I gauge whether or not a building is something that is clean enough, where I know I would feel comfortable, is in high-rise buildings. You generally have a place where you put your trash. I always, always, always go check out where do you put the trash, because you can tell a lot about how a building is managed by the way they handle and manage trash. So, of course, this was spotless. I'm talking about spotless. Even the trash cans on the inside are clean. So that was the level of expectancy that I had when I sent them my deposit sight unseen. I got some do's and don'ts. So let's get into it. There are some things I want to share with you, some things that I did right and some things that I did wrong, wrong, wrong. So before we do, housekeeping was non-existent, Venus. Let me just say hey to everybody. Hey, Cece, the Tantric Gourmet. Hey, Venus. Hey, Mara Love. Who else? Did I see Shauna? Hey, Shauna. Hey, Brenda. I'm so glad y'all are here because I need somebody to kind of check me because, I don't ever want to be like the colonizers. That's not cool. And when in Rome, you do as the Romans do. I always want to be a good guest, when people welcome you to their country or to their city or wherever it is. If someone's welcoming you into their home, you want to be a gracious guest. I want to be a gracious guest. I'm not that girl. I'm not looking for a reason to be upset anymore. I don't live in the US. I'm not all wound up tight. No. But that it was such a stark contrast to what I received the first time. I was generally like taken aback. Hey, Raven. Hey, not before 10. Did y'all see them pictures? If y'all didn't see those pictures, if you came in late, girl, do the replay because they were horrendous. I'll see if I can get them back up without showing y'all all my email and stuff. I'll roll through them one more time, but as we get into it. But so there's some things that I learned, of course, and there's some things that I knew, but I'm gonna tell you how I got myself into this predicament. I assumed that this place would be the same as my last place. And you know what happens when you assume? You make an ass. out of you and basically me. I made an ass out of myself because I just trusted the agent that I used. This was a guy that I had connected with before I left the first time because I knew there was a possibility that I would be coming back to this wonderful building. And still, would I do it again? Yes. In the end, ultimately, I would still do it again because y'all already know the views, the location, the amenities, all of the things are still in place, but it's how I did it. Would I ever, ever, ever send a deposit ahead? No, I wouldn't. And so we'll start with that. I don't care if you're in Kuala Lumpur, Mexico, Panama City, or if you're 2 states over in the United States. So y'all grab something to drink, drop in the chat where you're watching from, and let's just get into how I got myself into this predicament and what I would advise anybody who's thinking of moving abroad or moving to a new environment. What I learned from this horrific experience. It was bad, you all. It wouldn't have been so bad if it wasn't so dusty. You can hear. Let me take a sip of this tea. Oh. Let me share with y'all the tea. This is the tea company I was telling y'all about last time. If you're ever in Kuala Lumpur, can you see that? Let's see. There it is. It's BO. So tonight, well, it's your nighttime, it's my daytime. I'm drinking peppermint tea, and I need to take a little sip. Me. And this is the other one that I like. It's lychee and rose, and you can see the packaging is gorgeous. This peppermint one's a little plain, but they have all different kind of flavors. And when I tell y'all good tea, you know how if you leave your tea bag in your water for too long, the tea will become bitter or it'll have that tannin kind of taste. It never happens with this tea. It's a good tea. So if you're ever in Kuala Lumpur, if you ever have an occasion to get this BOT, get it. There's another one that I'm going to go to. I think it's TGW. TWG is one of those three. Those 3 letters. I'm just not sure, but they make really good teas too. So I'm going to roll over there later today and find another great tea. So you're probably saying, girl, why are you renting sight unseen? That's the question I would ask somebody if they told me this story. I'd be like, girl, why are you doing this? Well, you all know that me and 2 of my travel mates, we were traveling together months before this ever even happened. We were in Panama getting our pensionado visas, and we went from Panama to Colombia. And while we were out on the road doing our girly thing, I got the phone call. The agent calls me and he's like, Sandra, you know that dream apartment, the corner unit that you wanted? Because there's only one on each floor. First of all, so there's scarcity. You know this ain't going nowhere. Scarcity. That anytime you make a decision out of scarcity, if scarcity is anywhere in the equation, you could run afoul, it could run amok. So let's start there. He calls me out of the blue. That apartment that you wanted is available. And the lady, she's moving out. She's moving out in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever it was. It was a short period of time. Do you want it? I need to know. Scarcity and the rush factor. This does not make for good business. Y'all already know where I'm going with this. This does not make for good business. I'm abroad. I'm thinking, oh no, I want to secure this place because it's only one of these on every floor and they don't come available very often. So I jump in, I wire, the deposit, and nothing in me. There were no real alarm bells. Of course, there's a low simmering kind of, I hope everything works out. But because I had worked with this management company before, because I had been in the building, I didn't have those fears. And it didn't even dawn on me. I'd never thought for a million years that they would try to run the flim flam. I mean, or that they would not keep this place to the same level as the other place. But here's another thing that I learned. And y'all know this. When you moving abroad and renting abroad, in every country is going to be different. Well, here, all of these units are, most of them are individually owned. So the owner who had the other one kept it up in a way that, it was absolutely gorgeous. This one, not so much. I think because it's a corner unit, it's probably been occupied the whole time because they are so rare. And so scarcity, there's only one on each floor. Two, you got to hurry up and make a decision because somebody else. And three, not being boots on the ground, I'm thinking, let me go ahead and secure this. Because normally I wouldn't have done that. The first time when I rented, I was here. And when I tell you, I put them people through it, I put them people through it. I was turning down apartments left and right, so much so that I thought, well, maybe it's not time. Maybe I'm just not going to find something here in Kuala Lumpur. And so if anyone is thinking of coming to Kuala Lumpur, let me just tell you, you have to be, if you are, I'm not going to even say that I'm picky. It's just the way my brain is wired, period. Y'all, the way my brain is wired. Hey, if that picture is hanging crooked, I'm going to notice it. If there's two different shades of tan on the wall, I'm going to notice it. I'm a seer for real. Like in my gifting, I'm a seer. But in my real life, child, I don't know. I guess what they call it, A-type. I'm something because I noticed everything. But here's the problem. I didn't notice it immediately. So here's the third or fourth thing, I lost count, that kind of had me in this predicament. And a mistake I made, and I hope you don't make it. So let's go back. Number one, don't operate out of fear. Don't operate out of scarcity. Do not operate quickly, especially in making any decision like that, because you got to live in that place for whatever amount of time. And so right off the bat, those three things were not working in my favor. But I also planned my arrival. I'm flying in. That's a 24-hour flight from the US coming here. I was exhausted when I arrived here. And instead of booking a hotel for maybe 2 days to catch my breath, no, I rolled straight in and I'm going to leave the airport. The plan was leave the airport, come right to the apartment, collect the keys, move in the same day. Now, had I planned better or had the forethought to get a hotel and stay in a hotel for 2 days or maybe even a week to catch my breath, get over the jet lag, I could have come in, inspected this apartment without having my things be here and insisted that they get them right before I took possession of the apartment. So there's another thing that I would suggest that everybody do. Number one, those three things don't do. Don't operate under pressure, period. But another thing that I would say, that if you're thinking about moving abroad, first of all, don't take anything without seeing it. Unless if they can do a visual walkthrough for you, like a video walkthrough, and even that wouldn't have saved me from this. If someone had done a video walkthrough, they wouldn't have been on top of those shelves. I mean, I could have asked them to, but that's the kind of detail that you'll need to have in mind if you're thinking of renting and you don't have boots on the ground. You need someone on the ground, preferably yourself or somebody you trust, to go through that place with a fine-tooth comb before you take possession. And so I would say, if you can't do that, build in a couple of days before you actually plan to move in. Get a hotel, get an Airbnb, settle your nerves, because coming off of that long A flight, I was in no shape. All I wanted to do was sign those papers and get that realtor like out of my face. We had to do some money things. It was just a lot to do fresh off of an airplane, off of a 24-hour flight. So don't do what I did. Don't do what I did. Have somebody on the ground, preferably. Schedule it so that you could do the pre-move-in walkthrough yourself, or have them do a thorough video walkthrough. And I mean, you want them to turn on the water. You want to see the water pressure in all the faucets, the shower, flush the toilets. You need to have this on video. You want to see, do the sinks drain? Because when I tell you all of those things had to be done, my sink in the bathroom was draining slow. We're not going to even talk about the cleanliness level. And let me just pause and put a pin in this, because I know that this is true and it's such a sensitive topic. But sanitation and cleanliness are totally subjective. That's a nice way to say it. My idea of clean and somebody else's idea of clean are probably not going to be exactly the same. And with that being said, that's why you need to build in those precautions. Because if you're a person like me and that's going to irritate the hell out of you, because it irritates the hell out of me, you don't even want to put yourself in that position. So handle those things ahead of time. Get that visual walkthrough and all the other things. If you find something, like I spotted all of these things, and I'm going to tell you, here's another don't do. I immediately reached out to the same realtor who put me in this predicament, because it was his job to make sure that this apartment was, together. I reached out to him, and so we're talking back and forth, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. We'll send somebody." And when I tell you, I had to slow down because I get re-triggered. They sent somebody. They sent an older lady, and I can't tell how old Black people are, but other people I can tell when they old. So this is an old lady. I mean, she has to be in her 60s. And she doesn't come alone. She comes with two gentlemen that appear to be from Bangladesh, because that's a whole thing. That's a whole work economic or ecosystem we'll have to go into later. So she brings the two migrant workers, and I'm not even being facetious. And she doesn't do anything. They come, y'all ever seen microfiber cloths? They come with two microfiber cloths, not a bucket. I know we talked about this before. No cleaning supplies. And they come through, and so they're wiping everything down with these microfiber cloths. And I'm like, you know, I'm stunned. I'm still exhausted because this is the very next day. And I am in a situation where I'm very uncomfortable because, number one, this is an older lady. I am not about to argue with this older woman about how this apartment should be cleaned. That's not my job to manage the workers. And I'm definitely not about to nitpick with the migrant workers. It's like brown person telling another brown person to dictate to the brown person, this is all out of order. This is all out of order. And I was terribly uncomfortable because let me tell you what I could see. This was my visual. What I saw was she kind of was giving me the vibes like, yeah, we just gonna get this done. But the Bangladeshis, the two gentlemen, were like, what's the big deal? You know, and if you've ever been to Kuala Lumpur, and if you haven't, let me pause right here and give y'all a little bit of backstory. Girl, no cleaning supplies. You heard what I said. Everybody had a microfiber cloth. They put them right out their back pockets. I was like, this is gonna be a problem. This is gonna be a problem. I definitely did not want to be the intermediary. It's not my job to make sure you all do the job that should have been done before I got here. So I let them do their little wipe down or whatever it was. And now I'm finally to myself in my senses. I just start documenting everything. So here's another do. Do document everything. And when I tell you everything, I mean everything. I should show you those pictures. I videotaped from the front door, I mean the floors, every surface. I took pictures of every spot, every scratch, every nick. I don't care what it was. And when I tell you, I must have over 100 pictures. And at first, I sent them to the realtor, because doesn't that make sense? The guy that I'm dealing with. Oh, Sandra, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Oh, we'll fix it, we'll fix it, we'll fix it. So he sends the same This time they had a little spray bottle. I wish I was lying. I wish I was telling y'all a lie, but I am not. So now they got a little spray bottle because, okay, we're going to do a little cleaning. Baby, they did the same little wipe down with the spray bottle. And now I'm saying, well, don't you see these handprints on the walls? Don't you see the soap scum? I'm frustrated. Documenting was great. Here's what I would advise anybody to do. I went through my lease. I contacted the owner, the management company, every phone number, every WhatsApp number, every email address, every number I had. I just started I sent the pictures to everybody. I sent the videotapes to everybody. Now we finally getting some traction because I got in touch with the right person. Because, if you're new and you're in a country in an environment that you're not native. I'm not native to Kuala Lumpur. I didn't know what the hierarchy was. Don't try to guess. Send it to everybody. Everybody can see it. Let's shame everybody because it should never have happened. That stuff should have been cleaned. I'm talking about the dirt and grime was so thick on the top of those cabinets, I could literally write my name in it. And so once I documented it, sent it, got it into the right hands, then things started to happen. Oh, I got a bunch of apologies and a bunch of, okay. They even came in, they still half painted, but they did get in here and freshen up the paint. And meanwhile, let me tell you, all the workers are so wonderful. They're very sweet. In Asia and Southeast Asia, these are some of the most non-confrontational people you will ever run into. And even if there is a conflict, or it is never loud, it is never boisterous, it is never, it's none of this. And so I think in the US we are used to, our rights. We got rights. Well, I don't know how many rights we have when we were abroad, and that's a gray area. What kind of rights do you have as an immigrant, as an expat, as someone who is not native to the country or wherever you are? And so I'm mindful of that. And so rather than stomping my feet and demanding that this stuff be done, I think this was the perfect time for diplomacy. And so I had to maintain my cool, even though I was aggravated beyond all words. I was emotionally beat. I was frustrated. All of those things. I had to step back, take a breath. And I will say that too. Don't get too much in your feelings about it. I could have gone down that whole path of, oh, you did this because I'm a woman. Oh, this happened because I'm an expat, or this happened because I'm an immigrant. This happened because I'm Black. I could have gone down that rabbit hole, but to what end? So, let's bypass all of that. That's, for me, that's a sign of maturity. Girl, that's a sign that all of the therapy that I paid for, the therapy was working. Because the old Sandra 5 years ago, oh, I probably would have lost it. I'd have flipped my wig because I probably would have been stressed. I wasn't stressed coming in. I was probably tired and a little jet lagged, but I wasn't stressed. Like, I don't have to worry about going to work on Monday. Ain't nothing happen. These ain't my problems. That's really how I was looking at. First of all, these are not my problems. Y'all need to fix it. These are your problems. I don't own this. This is your stuff. You need to fix it and make it right. So reframing the whole situation, taking a breath, stepping back, coming up with a plan. And the plan was to document everything in real time: photos, videos, timestamp, written communication. So I moved from talking to the realtor to putting everything in writing. Yes, it was an added step. But once they saw that I had all this video footage and pictures, and I was now communicating directly with the boss, everybody's boss, because even the workers they sent out, I contacted their bosses. That man was like, ma'am, we ain't got nothing to do with that. We're the paid help. I don't care. I need everybody to know. So I would say, if you ever run into a situation like that, don't be frustrated. Well, you're going to be frustrated, but don't allow that to get the better of you. Instantly come up with a plan. And the first thing you should do is document everything, get everything in writing, put all of your requests in writing. even when conversations happen over the phone or in person. And that was another thing I had to do. When the lady came and they did that little wipe down, I'm snapping pictures. I'm snapping pictures. Here's the before, here's the after. This is still what is, what it's like. Then, of course, you're going to want to know what your lease says. I instantly went back into the lease and read it. I had read the one before, so it's pretty similar, but I found that there's a provision. You have 14 days. The owner has 14 days, according to my lease, to make everything right. And then after that, you have a next step of recourse. And so knowing that gave me a little bit of peace of mind. So, you know, there's some things I did. Most of them I did wrong. I was gonna say some things I did right. I didn't get to the right things until after I did all the wrong things. And just to recap, the wrong things were, you never enter into any kind of deal, really any big decision quickly, in a scarcity mindset, out of fear, or you don't rush, all of those things. The table was set for something like this to happen. And you certainly never send anybody a deposit halfway across the world without having at least a video representation of what it looks like. And so those were all the things that I did wrong. Sending the money, not getting a video, not having somebody on the ground, blah, 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 do. And then the progression from that would have been coming in tired, not thinking or having the forethought that maybe I need to rest before I move right into this apartment. Assuming that's, don't assume, don't make no assumptions. That should be at the very top of your list. Make no assumptions. And I did all of those things. I assumed because I had a great experience the year before, I would have a great experience this time. And it wasn't that it wasn't a great experience, it was just very inconvenient. I think allowing your frustration to take over, because I was irritated. I had to get a hold of that. I had to reframe it. This is inconvenient. This is not life threatening. And I would almost say that they're first world problems, but that's all a matter of perspective. For me, it was unnecessary. I did not have to go through that. I could have avoided all of that by making some different choices. So one, never pay the deposit before you have book a short-term stay somewhere close by, someplace comfortable, especially if you're traveling across the world like I traveled across the world. That was just not smart. I should have booked myself someplace in a gorgeous hotel, gotten a massage, and then came ready to do business. Another thing I'll say to you, and you can do all of this online. You can manage, or you can research the management company. Hold tight, because I think I got some little bullet points I pulled up that I should be, so I can keep track of this myself. Because I know I'm repeating some of these, and I want to make sure. Okay, so let me put these up. One, do a live video walkthrough before you pay. We talked about that. Two, this is the one. Research the management company by name before you come. My apartment is run through a management company. You could totally look that up. If you are going to do this before you have boots on the ground, find out as much information as possible. If you got somebody on the ground for you, have them do it. You need to have all the phone numbers, all the WhatsApp numbers. These are things you can find. And nowadays with AI, I know a lot of people don't like AI. I get it. But for research purposes, I was able to go on to AI. I took pictures of my lease, put that stuff in there, and they told me exactly what to do. They was like, girl, stop spinning and hurry up and start documenting. Find out who's the head of blah, 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 blah. It gave me a rundown of everything that I needed to do. So research before you make any decisions. Get all of that information. It sounds like a hassle, but I'm telling you, Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, who else? There's another one, but I usually run everything through Claude, ChatGPT, and Gemini. And then, of course, Perplexity. Use any of those AI models, pop in all the information. If you got a realtor's name, then too, make sure that your realtor is a legitimate registered realtor. I didn't have that to worry about because I knew that these were registered realtors. I dealt with this company before, but that's something that you can find out. It's something, even if you run into a dead end, at least you did your due diligence. So this is all about doing due diligence. The next thing I was saying, we talked about this, book a short-term stay first. Just go relax your nerves. If you're flying straight in from overseas or wherever you're flying from, if you're driving from state to state, if you're in the US and you're relocating, girl, book yourself in some time, get a massage, get a meal so that you come to it with fresh eyes. I was so exhausted that the realtor, we kind of rushed through the walkthrough. I certainly wasn't on top of the shelves and scrutinizing the bathroom, soap scum, and all of that stuff while he was here. We were trying to get the paperwork completed, and that was a mistake. Don't do that. Another thing I would say is know your local deposit and tenant law before you even enter into a deal. All of that stuff is researchable. I did this the first time, so I didn't do it the second time. I didn't have to because the first time I came through, I hired an attorney. Yep, I sure did. The first time when I did this, moved into this building last year, I paid for an attorney up front before I even signed. It's called a tenancy agreement, not a lease, but it's the same thing in essence. I took it unsigned to an attorney and had the attorney go through it line by line by line. It didn't cost me much, maybe like $250, worth every penny. Because I went into signing that lease, I understood everything. I understood what worked in my favor and what didn't work in my favor. And so know before you go. Know before you go. That's somebody's doggone screen name. Know before you go. Know before you go. And you can do that between AI. Is it necessary to hire an attorney? Maybe, maybe not. But for me, being a foreigner, it was worth the $250. It was worth the peace of mind. Get every promise in writing. Everything is in writing, period. Everything. Document everything. Photos. Send it to everybody. Get everything. If somebody tells you, I'm going to do that, tell them, send that to me in an email. Send me a message. Send it to me via WhatsApp. Let's communicate via WhatsApp, because when you communicate via WhatsApp or any of those apps, because everybody doesn't have WhatsApp. Some countries use Line, whatever they use, and Talkie, whatever it is. You've got timestamps. You've got pictures that are timestamped. You've got messages that are timestamped. You have everybody's communication back and forth. Make sure, don't skip those steps. And then document your move-in condition the same day. Save this before you book your next place. I'm just saying, save all this. I put everything here down in the description. So if you're thinking of moving abroad, do yourself a favor. Those are 6 very simple steps. Please do not send anybody any money. I know that sounds so elementary. And y'all know, the first time when I did it, that was right top of mind, on my radar. But I assumed, because I'd already done this and been here before and I was familiar with this rental, this management company, that I will be covered. Don't assume. Nope, nope, nope. And I will say this, and I put this in the description box, build your own day one checklist. So day one, when you move in, start documenting everything. And I would document everything anyway, simply because on your way out, when you get ready to reclaim your deposit, that's where so many people get caught up. And I know it happens because I was in one of the Facebook groups and I heard a guy, he posted about this same rental, company, and how they ate up all of his deposit. Well, he hadn't really taken care of the place. He had done something like some stains on the cabinet. So it was some real stuff that they had took issue with. But because he didn't have any documentation, he couldn't prove anything. So because I had rented here before, I knew to document everything. And so I would suggest that to anybody. I don't care where you are. Videotape the condition. Don't just videotape it. Take pictures of every surface. I know it sounds crazy, but those are things that will save you in the long run. knowing the rental laws, get everything in writing, build your own checklist. If you want it, check it down in the description box. If you need it, just, let me know. I can send you one that you can print out. So here's the truth. This isn't just about a rental lesson, to be perfectly honest with you. It's the same muscle that we use in our financial literacy learning community, y'all. It is, you have to be a good steward. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to do that. You have to be a good steward over the things that we can, the things that we can control. This is not just about a rental agreement. This was real live money, money that I sent. That was not my finest hour. It was not the best decision-making process. And so the same way we, are careful and good stewards over our money is the same way you want to be over a big move abroad like that. So let me roll over here to the chat because, Lord, I had to get that off my chest. Let me see. The only time I learned restrooms closest to where, okay, wait a minute. Did I say hi to Zaza? Hey, Zaza. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Sister Soul Circle. No, Soul Sister Circle. I'll get it. Place to vent. Hey, hola, hola. Not before 10. That's my homie. Hey, homie. I said hi to Shauna. Hey, Angela. That's my original travel buddy. Me and Angela hung out together in Mexico when I first got out here on the road. Hey, Katrina. Oh, I love y'all. Hey, Rita. Thanks for showing up, y'all. I appreciate it. I wanted to get all, first of all, let me tell you this. Hey, Lisa. I had to get that out the way first, y'all, before we could chat. The algorithm told me that, see, I got it done too in less than 30 minutes. The YouTube algorithm said, I need to get to the business first. We do too much chatting over here. And people who tune in for whatever the topic is, like if the topic today was how to avoid being a sucker, how to avoid being taken for a ride, I have to get to the info first. And then we could chat. Then we could talk about all the things, because when I tell y'all I got some things I need to talk to y'all about, and this ain't no joke. This is okay. So we wrap that up nicely with a bow, right? Y'all know what to do, you know what not to do. And I know it sounds like common sense, but I will say this. I didn't leave my senses. I simply got too comfortable, and I trusted someone in a space where I shouldn't have. Point blank, period. There's no other way to frame it. I made some assumptions that I shouldn't have, and it didn't cost me any real money, but it did cost me time, energy, peace of mind. Because when I tell y'all irritated, baby, I was irritated. I had to really talk to myself. I had to call in all those therapy sessions, about how to frame something, how not to get stuck in the emotion of it. I had to do all of that. I had to do some real work. Let's see. Hold tight. I see a question. Yes, I was happy with it. I was happy with, first of all, y'all saw the apartment. It was nothing for me not to be happy with. I was displeased and a little disheartened by the conditions, because that dust kept me from resting. It was in my throat. I knew it was something, and it took me a minute to figure out what it was. It's like, why is my throat scratchy? Why am I sneezing? It's not mold, because you could smell mold. Mold. You could see mold. You could smell mold. It wasn't that. It was all that dirt and grime that was, every time I would turn on this ceiling fan, it was circulating that dust and dirt. So it was never that I wasn't happy with the apartment. I was torn. It was the condition of the apartment, the cleanliness level was preventing me from enjoying my lovely views. It was preventing me from unpacking my things and settling in after I had traveled forever and a day. And you all, I don't know if I shared this with y'all. The flight coming over here is hella long anyway. So leading out of Chicago, which is where my flight originated from, our flight was delayed. which meant, that's just a domino effect. So you're in the airport. I don't know about y'all, but I get to the airport 3 hours before I need to be there. Let me take this comment down. Let me get this off of the screen, y'all. So, I'd already been in the airport 3 hours before the flight. Now the flight is delayed an hour and a half, 2 hours. So now I've been in the airport for 5 hours, although when I tell you mother was in the lovely lounge, the Polaris lounge, I'm always giving out. Let me give y'all a tip. If you're in Chicago and you're flying out of Terminal 1, don't even bother with those other lounges. Head straight to the United Polaris Lounge. I'm telling you, it's not up there with Doha. It's not up there with Singapore's Changi. But baby, it's up there. It's up there. They have a sit-down restaurant. It's up there. It's up, for me, it's in the top 5. It is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's big. It has all the things. All the things. Showers, alcohol. Not that y'all know I'm not drinking like that, but all the things. Delicious food. Quiet spaces. You can look out onto the tarmac. So, don't cry for me, Argentina. But it was still long. So add 5 hours on to a 24-hour flight. So then by the time we get to our place where we need to transfer, we get to fly to Tokyo for our, what the heck you call it, our layover, we missed the flight. So now instead of, making it here on time, we got an extra day in Tokyo. Again, don't cry for me, Argentina, because I ran into 2 of the loveliest ladies. We got a cab together. Of course, the airline, Anna Airlines, I have nothing bad to say about them. They told us what hotel to go to, although we had to pay for those things up front ourselves. They sent us to a lovely hotel. We got us a black car. We were really, it wasn't bad, but it extended my entire travel day. So what would have been 24 hours actually turned into more like 48 hours, almost 72 hours of travel. So I really did arrive zapped, absolutely out of it. So there's that. There was that. So anyway, so finally get here, and then all of this ensues. So it wasn't that I was never unhappy with the apartment. The apartment was just what I expected. The things that mattered the most, the big things. Girl, yes, child, it's time for the chat. And that's why I say I gotta get back over here to the chat. Yes, girl, it was O'Hare. Flying out of O'Hare, Terminal 1. Most international flights out of Chicago, though, come out of the Terminal 5. But we flew out, United flies out of, and Anna flies out of Terminal 1. Please, girl, do yourself a favor. I could tell y'all all the hot lounges. Oh my God, I could tell you. I could tell you one that's going to mess you up. I'll tell you one. O'Hare will test you hard. Yes, it will. Because it's so big. It's such a big airport. It's so spread out. And yeah, it's a lot of walking. But Terminal 1 made it a lot easier. Terminal 5 is really hard to leave out of. I miss that thing every time. But girl, let's talk about the lounges. I'm gonna give you my top. I'll give you my top 5. Anything in Doha. Anything. Pick one. Doha got 25 lounges. If you're flying Qatar Airlines, now that things have settled down, they shooting rockets up in the air, whatever they. If you fly through Qatar Airways, pick a lounge, child. Just pick one where there ain't no babies. If you like me, the last thing I want to hear is your baby crying when I done paid tall dollars for this transatlantic flight. I don't want to hear your babies. So anything in Doha, I'm gonna put Doha number 1. My number 2 would have to be Singapore. Singapore, Changi Airport, pick a lounge. Pick one. Changi is so big. That airport is a destination in itself. So that would be, they vie for number 1 and number 2. My number 3, I like Air France's lounge in Chagall Airport in Paris. That was, I want to say, not my first airport lounge experience, but it was my first one where they had showers and good food. I don't know. I'm not even sure. They must be affiliated with whoever Delta is. So I don't know which one that is. Because it's Star Alliance and all of the names. I don't know which one that is. But if you ever get a chance to fly through Chagall, go to the Air France lounge, honey. You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. Top tier. So that, and then let's see. What's the airport in Seoul? Oh, how come I can't remember that one? Mare Love will know. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, number 4, I'll put the Polaris Lounge in Chicago. I'll make that number 4. Number 5, 4 or 5 could be either one. That airport in Seoul, Icheon. Icheon. Icheon, that airport is a work of art, period. Icheon is absolutely gorgeous. So let's see who else. You know who gonna get an honorable mention? Not even for their lounge, because the lounge, I don't know, because I never went into it. And this is a tiny, tiny airport and so off topic, but it's an airport I just enjoy every single time I fly through it because it's so easy, it's so cute, it's so well maintained. The airport in Da Nang. I don't know what it is about that airport in Da Nang, Vietnam, but you land, it is so easy to get in and out of. When you walk outside, it's green, it's beautiful, it's soft, and I don't know. I don't even know what that airport name is. I don't even know what the name of that airport is. Yvette is here. What's the name of that airport in Da Nang? I guess it's just Da Nang International. I don't know. But that's one I live to go to that one because it's just so easy. You walk out, it's like you almost feel like you should just grab yourself a cappuccino, wait for your ride, your prearranged ride. It's soft life. It's definitely soft life. Yes, Icheon. Icheon is in Seoul. Icheon is a whole vibe itself. Let's see. The lounge experience is, yeah, I live all by, yes, it's a life all by itself. I know what you're saying, girl. It's a whole vibe. If you are not adding the lounge to your travel experience, you are doing yourself a disservice. And do the research too, because not all lounges are created equal. So let's go to the worst. Y'all want to know the worst one I ever been to? Hold your hats. The worst one, oh, Da Nang is gorgeous. Da Nang's airport is easy, honey. That's a E. I like it better than Chiang Mai is easy too. It's in terms of it's small, it's an international airport, it's easy to navigate, but it looks so run down and just look a little dusty. It need a little touch up. But Da Nang has loungers, like just for the public. Like you could stretch out and lay down for real, like a recline, a shay. They have shay loungers available just out for the public. Come on now. Mm. I've never been in an airport lounge. Girl, get girl, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Book your next flight before you even go to the airport. Just hit Chat GPT up, hit them all up, and ask them what is the best lounge in this airport and how can I get access to it? Because many times, certainly if you book a business class ticket, first of all, let's be clear. I don't think I've ever in my life flown first class. But I will buy a business class ticket in a New York minute. I'm done with, early on I would do premium economy, and I'll still do premium economy if it's a short flight. But if it's over 8 hours, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna have to go on and bite the bullet. But if you book a business class ticket, you will have access to the lounge, and it'll probably be the nicer lounge if there's a choice. Oh, that sun is shining. I look a little greasy up in him. But sister, get to the lounge. You do not have to sit out with Jim Pop. We don't sit out with Jim Pop. We travelers. We're not vacationers. We are travelers. And travelers understand that getting there is a part of the experience as well. And so from the time I leave the house, I treat myself right. I promise you. I stop relying on my children to get me to the airport. Just stop relying on your family unless you got some reliable people. Because I've had my family, you know, I do it, I do it, I do it. And then they speed up to the door on two wheels, and now I'm anxious. I ain't got time for that. So I now just book me a ride to the airport. I don't care where I am. Just book you a car. The travel experience starts when you lock your door. Once you lock your door, that is now your travel day. Make it easy for yourself. Book you some ground transportation. Have them pick you up, sit back. I usually put mine on silence because y'all know I'm an introvert and I don't want to talk. Somebody said, hey, y'all, I have to watch from the beginning. Hey, Amina, that's my other homie. Girl, we just in here chatting. You listen, I had to do all the heavy content up at the beginning because the algorithm told me people come for whatever that title is. You said you're going to tell folks how to avoid getting taken and taken advantage of when you're moving abroad and renting a place, the do's and the don'ts. Girl, I had to get it out the way. So we got that out in the first 30 minutes or so. So those people can go about their business and about their day. The rest of us, we just in here talking. We just in here chatting it up. Yeah. Okay, Maryland. Yep. So the Da Nang Airport is DAD. Y'all got to be there. Yes, it is a nice airport. It's not fancy. It's not, it's not over the top, but it is easy. And when you get there, I have, even in the rain, when I've arrived in Da Nang, I swear you, there's a softness about it. Amina, you got to tell us what the jewels are, gold coins, whatever they are. Y'all send them. I think they're free. Y'all hype the video too. I've been off YouTube. I don't even know what it means, but I just heard the other YouTubers saying hype the video. Find the hype button. Mirror love. What's the hype thing? Anybody know what it is or what it does? Thank you, Amina. I'm not sure what the 10 jewels and the gold coins are, but I humbly accept them. And I'm sure it's something wonderful. Amina knows all of this stuff. Amina is a social media whiz. So she knows all this stuff. That's my homie. So if you can explain to us what it is and how to hype a video, y'all figure it out. Hype a video, hype it. I don't know what it is, but I know I've done it for others. It's somewhere down, I want to say in the, this is my right or my left? In the right hand corner, there's something that you can hit. I always send mine. I send all of my little coins or whatever it is. I was watching some guys, some young boys. They just started their YouTube channel and they gamble in Vegas. And so I sent them all my little coins. So if y'all find it, send it. Yeah, there it is. I don't know what it is, but whatever. And some of that stuff, it should be free. The hype thing should be free. So it's not money. Okay. Neither have I, but I plan on changing that soon. Shauna, girl, all my traveling sisters, I am telling you this. Most times your credit card, and I'm going to do another live. I think I'm going to try to schedule this for either next Sunday or the Sunday after. Y'all know Anita, Global Granny. That's my travel idol, first of all. Anita moves around the world, child. I wish I had it. I can't move as fast as Anita moves. Anita is everywhere. She was at the meetup I think they were in Medellin or either in Panama City, wherever it was, she was there. Anita don't miss a meetup. She don't miss an opportunity. I have met up with Anita we met up in the US and Texas. We met up here in KL. I'm sure we probably met up someplace else. She is everywhere. But Anita is the master of how to maximize your value. She is going to come and talk to us about using your points, how to sign up for all the rewards things and do all of that stuff. So y'all mark your calendars, just set your notifications so that you're notified anytime I release a video, because that's going to be the next one. I'm not even maximizing that. Anita has gotten first class tickets, or business class tickets at a discounted price. She is probably flown for free, but this sister knows how to work that credit card situation. She knows how to work all of the, every airline has their own rewards program, the hotels. The girl is racking up points. And so she's going to tell us how to do it, because I don't know how to do that. Me too. Business class for long flights is a must. Business class tickets, I know it does not sound, it's going to sound expensive. But can you put a price on your health, your mental health? Being able to lay down on a plane, and I know I've said this before, y'all. Girl, when you walk on that plane and they hit you with the mimosa and the pajamas, you can thank me later. You can call me back and be like, you can come to the chat and be like, yes, girl, yes, girl. It is nothing like getting on that airplane. And y'all know I say it again, I'm not a drinker, but knowing that it's there, who knows? I might want some wine. But knowing that you can have it, they serve you. Food is on demand on most business class flights, which means if you get on the plane and you're sleeping, you can sleep and they'll let you sleep. And then when you wake up, you can eat your meal. You don't have to eat like when everybody else is eating. I'm telling y'all, Gym Pop is overrated. I don't want to be in Gym Pop at the airport. I know this sounds terrible, but definitely for 8 hours, I don't want to be back there with Gym Pop. All that coughing and sneezing and walking, and oh my God, I don't want to use the bathroom where 400 other people had to use the bathroom. Please stop the madness. If you can, just for once, and it doesn't, for short flights, I'm with you. Short flights, I'm not booking no business class for no short flight. Now, that's, to me, that's not, I mean, if you got it like that, go for it. I personally wouldn't spend my money like that. But if we're talking about overnight flight, we're talking about anything over 8 hours, to me, it's worth every penny. Get your pajamas, get your pillows, your blankets, your eye mask. I want my lip balm. I want my hand lotion. I want my tote bag. I want all the things. And I'm gonna eat all the snacks. And listen, and I know this sounds crazy, but I'm telling y'all, this is I've done this for a minute now. Mother been out here. This going on. We might be going into wrapping up year 5. November will be 5 years. We're going into year 6. Take you a few of them snacks, especially like nuts. I cannot tell you, when I missed my doggone connecting flight, I just reached right on in my bag. I said, well, this is not a problem because I got all y'all peanuts, your mixed nuts. Grab you a bottle of water. I usually carry my reusable water, um, like my thermos, because it'll keep things hot and cold. But grab their water. Grab that bottled water. Put one in your carry-on. Put one in your personal bag if you have enough space. Grab you just a few snacks. I don't usually eat the cookies or anything like that, but I will grab if they have nuts, if they have like whole grain crackers, that kind of stuff. And I'm telling you, I have been in the airport longer than I wanted to be, and just before until I could find where the food is, I don't have to be starving. You don't have to be hangry in the airport. Tuck those things. Another thing, anytime I have an opportunity to get some wet hand wipes, I'm going always grab those. I carry my own, but if the airline is supplying them and you didn't pay for a business class ticket, girl, put them wipes in your bag. You're gonna need those things. Also, if there's a danger of you missing your connecting flight, if you haven't packed your toothbrush, and grab those things. You have paid, trust me, you're gonna pay. You have paid heftily. If you've booked you a business class ticket, you have paid heftily for those things. Get them. I think we need an introduction to travel in the Lux lifestyle without breaking the bank. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I'm telling you, I think I'm a partner with Anita. I have to figure out some of my other travel gurus because I'm learning, but these sisters have mastered the game. They've mastered the game and they are not breaking the bank. They are not. I have mastered lounge life. I can tell you where the lounges are. I can tell you the ones to skip. Oh, that's it. I want to tell you the worst one. Y'all ready for the worst one I ever been in my entire life? And I would tell you, skip it. I paid for a business class ticket on Copa. I don't know, y'all. People like Copa. Copa Airways could totally miss me. The seat was okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. They got us through. It was pretty efficient. But that lounge, let me tell you, when I went into the lounge, all they had was scrambled eggs. That's it. That's it. There were no croissants. There were no cookies. They had scrambled eggs, coffee, tea, the beverages, and scrambled eggs. They might have had some white bread for some toast. In the Panama City, Copa Lounge. Skip it, skip it. You don't believe me? Google it right now. I dare you. I dare you to Google it right now. Somebody Google it. Airbnb, who is it? Chat GPT it. Claude right now. The Copa Lounge in Panama City and see what it tell you. If it's not the worst lounge on the planet, it's the worst lounge I've ever been in. It shouldn't even be called a lounge. I left that lounge and went back out in Gin Pop. I was like, you know what? This is not even worth it. Y'all are ticking me off. I left up out of there and went out and paid for airport food. It was that bad. I'm trying to be a traveler. Girl, no, you are a traveler. Traveler is a mindset. You are a traveler. We got to speak these things as though they were. You are a traveler. You are a traveler now because we're giving you all the travel information. Somebody says, thank you. I need that info. KL is on my list. Yes, sister. Down in the description of the video, I just put a very quick checklist, but there's some things that are unique to KL in terms of the rental market, and it could be very discouraging when you first come because it's almost like you got to kiss a whole lot of frogs before you find your prince. And if you have somebody who's got boots on the ground, like your girl, I could save you the headache. I could tell you what areas to avoid. I can tell you buildings that are well managed because everybody knows. And once you've been here long enough, everybody knows there are some buildings that are poorly managed. I'm talking about so poorly managed that they're like at 30% occupancy. If nobody's in the doggone building, it's probably not well maintained. Telltale signs are certainly the reception area. If you're looking for a long-term stay, I don't care if it's just for 90 days. I personally don't want to be no place where y'all got visitors, critters, bugs, oh, miss me. That disturbs my peace. I always check the trash room. I don't care if it's an Airbnb. Let me see your trash room because I can tell you, and you don't necessarily want to be near it. If you can, like mine is not too far from my door and I'm totally fine with it, honey. Because when I tell you, you can almost eat off the floor in that trash room, they hose it down. They clean out the trash cans. It is one of the cleanest. They keep the windows open in there, so it's always vented. But you want to check those things. And I'll give you another one, Amina, and I didn't mention this, but here in KL, many of these tall high rises, they have a rental office on site. Go straight to their rental office. I know that's a little off. We were talking travel stuff, but just because that question came up, KL is a great place. It's a great place, but you have to know how to navigate and you got to pack your patience. You need to have somebody on the ground to help save you some of the heartache and headache. Because when I tell you, if I look around, I could throw a stone and I've probably been in that building. I could just chuck rocks out this window. I've been in that building and I can tell you some of them, when you walk in instantly, it smells mildewy. Turn around, walk out. You don't have to live like that. There's so many of them, it will make you think, well, they must all be like this. That is not true. There are absolutely buildings that have mastered their filtration and whatever that is called, how air circulates. They have mastered that. So don't fall for the okie doke. Let's see. I think 1,000 is $1. We can hype once the video is done. Is that how it works? Thank you. That's how it's done. I don't know. Because I had some free something and I was just sending all of my little whatever to the young, just trying to encourage them. Whatever that thing is, there should be a free something too that you can do. What are those? I don't know. But, oh no, I did send them a super chat too. But at any rate, yeah, find the freebie things. Okay, what airline are you using? I heard flying through Toronto is easier from O'Hare. No, I don't know about that one. Not before 10. Flying out of O'Hare, it depends on the airline. If you are flying out, like if you fly Qatar, I think Qatar flies out of Terminal 5. The only thing about that is that it's just inconvenient to get to the terminal. But once you get there, I usually fly Qatar. Anna, I love Anna, ANA. It's Alpine something Airways. I don't know. It's the Japanese airline. Love them. Hands down, love them. They treat you well. We were delayed 2 hours. When I tell you my phone ding, 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 they sent us $20 right then and there. Or was it a reimbursement? I can't remember, but I do know that they attended to us like right on the spot. They were like, "Oh, we are so sorry. Your flight has been delayed. Take this $20. Go get you, go." Even though we had lounge access, there was really no need for us to come outside of the lounge. We had everything we needed. But because they were so responsive, when our flight was delayed, people were standing there waiting to greet us. So I can't say anything bad about ANA. I fly them out of O'Hare and they fly out of Terminal 1. So anybody who's flying, I like a direct flight. I don't want to be doing all these pit stops. If I can get away with one layover, I'm picking that flight. If I can get a nonstop flight, I'm picking that one because every time you exchange planes, it's an opportunity for your bag to get delayed. It's an opportunity for a missed flight, a missed connection. I don't want no parts of it. I don't want no parts of it. Everybody knows this too. I'll give y'all this one for free. I don't like to fly first thing in the morning, but when I tell you it is the best thing you can do, if you don't get the first flight out, get the second flight out first thing in the morning because if things go wrong, if flights start to get delayed, it's a domino effect. By the time you're on that last flight, you can forget about it. Either you're going to be in the airport overnight or it's going to be some turmoil. Them trying to find another airline to get you on. It's a mess. Try to get the first or second flight out no matter what. I will even pay for that. I'll pay a little bit extra for that first or second flight out. It's just, it's just worth it. Okay, somebody says hype gets your video seen by more people. Yeah, Caden, that's what we need. That's what we need over here. We need more people to see the video. I appreciate all the other things, but the truth is, y'all, I've been gone so long. This algorithm is ruthless. It will forget you. So because I stayed away for so long, now I have to build, I guess I got to prove myself again. Thank you, Miss LGC. Yay, gold trophy. I'm not sure what any of it means, but I sure appreciate it. Y'all help get me back on the map. Help get me back on the map because your girl was gone. I was not MIA, but I was regrouped. Okay, Shauna says, where's Ali is hosting a tour of Vietnam in 2027. So I'll finally visit Da Nang then. Please. Ali knows all things Thailand, Vietnam. She doesn't spend as much time in Malaysia. That's another one of my travel idols. And Ali, I'm telling y'all, follow Ali because Ali is going to tell you really how to do it on a budget. Like if you got a tight budget, Ali's your girl. Ali knows all the hotels. She knows how to do it for less. Now, and we respect all travelers over here. We don't travel shame. Baby, long as you out the house, we don't give a hoot how you get out the house, long as you get out the house. Ali is going to be able, you can tap into her and her resources. She's going to get you out and she could tell you where to stay, how to do it for the least amount of money. Ali is going to tell you accommodations. They will still be places that are safe. The girl is a well-traveled. Now, Anita is going to bump that up a little bit. Now, if you got a little bit more of a budget, Anita is going to tell you how to work your credit card points. Anita is the accommodations are going to be next tier, and Anita and I probably travel more alike. And then top tier child, I don't know who out here doing that. I don't know because I'm not I'm not paying first class prices. It don't make sense to me economically. If on somebody else's dime, yeah. On my dime, probably not. But if y'all get a chance, check out Ali. She is organizing a tour. Thank you, sister. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Marilyn says, yes, hype is free. So is like, subscribe, and share. It is. All of that stuff is free. Yes. Anita gets about the globe, baby. That's my travel mentor. I'm her mentee. She's the mentor. Oh, that's going to be a great one. Maximizing your points and knowing how to sign up. Yes, yes, yes. So stay tuned for that one. Again, put your, you know how to do that notification thing. Y'all have to ask the people in the chat, child. I don't know how to do none of it. Because usually when I subscribe to a channel, I just hit all the buttons. So I don't ask any questions. I usually like, subscribe, share, set notifications. I do it all in one fell swoop. So how you do it now, I don't know. But if you can set your notifications, yes. This is Global Granny. You can find her. She's Global Granny. Anita is Global Granny across all platforms. Please follow her. Please. I'm telling you, you will be in for a treat. I flew Korean Air and Delta, Vegas, South Korea, Bangkok. Okay. Oh, did you fly Bangkok Air? Bangkok Air flies out of Bangkok, but it flies primarily in Southeast Asia. That was another nice one. I don't know that they have a lounge, but they have refurbished some planes. They're a regional carrier. They're nice too. If you ever get a chance to fly regionally in Southeast Asia, Bangkok Air was very nice as well. Yeah, gen pop. You ever heard of that general population? It's like what they say about prison. Nobody wants to be in gen pop. That's general population. So when I'm saying gen pop, I'm saying we don't want to be out in gen pop, y'all. You don't have to be. Even in the most beautiful airport, because like Icheon in Korea, in Seoul, that was a nice airport. I did not mind being in gen pop. I would even say Singapore's, y'all know my mind be going. Singapore is Changi. Even in Changi, I don't mind being in Gen Pop because that airport is so gorgeous. It's so much to see. Child, they got a whole zoo, they got waterfalls, and it's a whole shopping mall. But any place else, I'm trying to get to the lounge where all the amenities are. Let's see. Somebody says, hey, y'all, son. Hey, everybody. Hey, sister. Hey, Latanya, Sandra, you're making me just want to buy a ticket just to fly. Girl, that's my other travel buddy. We met up in San Miguel and clicked. I mean, like instantly. But sister, you be getting around the world too. Who you kidding? Who we kidding? Business class is dreaming. It's dreaming. It's dreaming. Once you do it, it's like, you know what they say, once you go black, you don't want to go back. You don't go back. It's gonna be hard to go back, especially on a long haul flight. It's gonna be hard. I'm just saying. Endless snacks, hot towels. The bathrooms are super clean. I'm picky like that. I mean, you can literally, like the one on Anna Airways, they have this little thing that pops out the wall you can stand on. Like if you're in there putting on your pajamas, you can stand on this little platform, so that your feet aren't on the floor. Not that I would be in there anyway. I'm in there with my slippers on. But they give you your slippers. I had one gave me some socks. Might have been Qatar. Somebody gave me socks and slippers. I don't know. But I do know Qatar has Q suites where you have the privacy. Anna has what they call their business class is called the room, where you get it's a door, honey. Child, when I tell y'all I'll be in there, here's another thing, ladies. Pack your skincare, because airlines, those planes are dry. So I usually pack my skincare. I put my little eye patches on because y'all know I'm fighting like a fish on a hook. You see these? I'm fighting. I put my skincare on. I get my lip mask, put my lip mask on. Usually they'll give you an eye mask, but I have I have two eye masks. I have a silk one that I put on, put my eye cream on. Child, I'm telling you, you can't do all of that. I mean, you could do it in coach or economy. You could, but it is nothing like having a door where it's just you in there and you laying flat. You got your slippers on, you got them most you got your water and snacks, you got clean towel, hand towels. I do the whole thing. I do my hands. I've done a full face mask on on Anna. Yeah, because you nobody don't people don't care. I do a whole face mask. And then when you get to where you're going, you know, yeah, you arrive revived and refreshed. You can have the yes, 3 times. That's the part for free. That's what I do. You can send all 3 hypes on a single video. That's what I did. Okay, that's what I did for the guys. I whatever that free thing is, I did that. Okay. Yes. Hey, Monica. Yes. And if you all have some tips, drop them in the comments because I'm not the only traveler in here. You all are with good company. We with good company. It's other travelers in here. So y'all drop your tips, but I'm all about make it easy for me because I don't want to get there. And y'all, I've traveled for a while. Yeah, you learn it over time. Has this ever happened to you? I know it's happened to me. On one of them long haul flights, even 6 to 7 hours, and you start to, smell your seatmates. Girl, I don't want to do it. I have done that long haul leg. And then even when you walk through the airport, if you have a 2 hour, 3 hour layover, it's folks laid out in the airport. These people ain't bathed. You ain't bathed. You've been on a plane for 7 hours. You got a 3 hour layover. That's 10 hours that you had not tended to yourself. No. When you go to the lounge, many of them lounges have showers. I'm talking about, girl, they got bathrobes. The one Air France lounge, that was top tier. They had bathrobes, combs for you, all the amenities, child. So I want to stop. I want to. Yvette, did you find the button? Because I don't know where it is. I think it's down in the bottom. I anyway. I have to. I have been to that lounge in Panama. Girl, was it as horrible as I remember? It was horrible. I don't know when you went, but we were there recently, and all they had was scrambled eggs. They had scrambled eggs. They might have had some white bread for toast. I was like, where's the free cocktails? Where are the petit fours? Where are the croissants? There were no croissants. There were no petit fours. There was no champagne. I was like, this is not a lounge. I don't even know what this is. This is worse than a school cafeteria. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. I'm not into it. Henry says, my dad would travel early to combat the missed connections. Yes. When I worked at United, they seemed to select their priority members. Yeah. And if you can sign up for any of those rewards programs, sign up for all of them because some of them, they work in conjunction. They're like alliances. And so you can collect points on one and you may be able to use them towards lounge access or something else on another carrier and another airport. So always sign up for them. I know it seems like a hassle, but always sign up for them. I'm gonna leave it to the professionals. I'm gonna let Anita come on and tell y'all how it's done, because when I tell you the girls are pro, the girls are pro. Hey, Chef Blondie, how you doing? Hey, thank you, sister. Thank y'all. I sure appreciate it. Anna prepares your meals ahead of time. Yes, they do. So the day before or before you board your flight, you get to pick either from the Western menu or they have a Japanese menu. And when I tell y'all, I'm talking about real silverware. They come out, they put down like a real, on your tray table, they put down a real cloth, a white crisp. I'm talking about freshly ironed, snap, little tablecloth. Oh my gosh, treat me well. Treat me well. Thank you, Octavia. Thank you. Thank you. Who is this? Hey, Sexy L, what's happening? Yeah, you got to watch the replay. But the replay is all the business, girl. It's none of the chitty chat. The replay is the business. It's how not to make the same rookie mistake I made. Girl. Y'all smarter than me. Y'all would never do that. Oh, good. Okay, cool. Thank you for thumbs up the video. It says, where are the charms? I don't know what none of that stuff is. Hey, Katrina Lily, you're in Portugal. Y'all want to hear something? I'm telling you, when you travel for real, you start traveling. Katrina and I have crossed each other's paths on social media. I can't tell you for how long. I cannot tell you. Just in passing, I never laid eyes on Katrina. And I was in city center in Kuala Lumpur, and she calls out my name. We'd never seen each other, sight unseen, never seen each other. She's like, Sandra. And I'm like, who is that calling my name, my government name? Who is that? It was Katrina. We accidentally, I mean, purely by chance, bumped into each other on the other side of the world. Now, you know what that says. Black folks is getting outside. Black women, we outside, and I'm so happy for us. I'm so happy for us. And I'm going to tie that into something else because I got to tell y'all, because I'm going to tell you the good, I got to tell you the bad. It's no sense in me showing you this beautiful apartment and not tell you how I got here. The apartment is beautiful, and I'm happy to be here, child, but it was not all unicorns, bubble gums, and lollipops and lip gloss. It took some getting here. You know, I had to go through some things. But yay, that's my world traveling buddy sister right there. Let's see. My flight itinerary was from Vegas to South Korea to Bangkok. That's an itinerary, girl. Good Lord. You was moving through the globe for real. Okay, and I'm getting caught up. I'm just rolling through. Marilyn put up Ali's contact information. Y'all, please reach out to Ali. Ali has a YouTube channel, and she's Where's Ali across all social media platforms. Okay. I flew first class to Thailand many years ago on Singapore Airlines using miles. It was a life-changing experience. See, you big time. You big time because Singapore Airlines is supposed to be top tier. And first class, I can't even imagine, girl. Was they giving out foot rubs? I would imagine. I guess in first class, they must just give out back rubs. Because business class is already like over the top. They had me at pajamas, slippers, cocktails, on demand eating. They had me. I was like, yeah, I'm sold. You ain't got to tell me, you ain't got to show me nothing else. And clean bathrooms. They clean those bathrooms like their life depend on them. So I can't even imagine first class on Singapore Airlines when I grow up. When I grow up. That's a goal. Thank you, love. Okay, so y'all figuring out where these buttons are, because I sure don't know. That's a great idea. I used to do that when I went to the steam room, the sauna, and the gym. Take all my personal care. Yep. Do it on your flight. I swear to you. Anything I put on my face, now I'm learning, because y'all look at these. Don't these look like the hands of somebody who walked? I worked many years. You know, teachers, you keep your hands in all kinds of stuff. You painting, you doing all of the things. So now I've got to nurse them back to health. And so what I have found is anything that I'm putting on my face, I pay more attention to my face than I did my neck and hands. And so now I'm playing catch up. So anything I put on my face now, I'm putting on my hands. An old sister told me that. She's like, girl, the same thing you put on your face, put on your hands. So I do my skincare routine day and night. And now I'm gonna try to nurse my hands back to health so they don't look like I walked over to Kuala Lumpur on my hands. But definitely pack that in your carry on. Just one or two face masks. You know, I usually just put one. They don't weigh anything. Get a face mask, get those little eye things, them little eye patches. I put those on. I get a lip mask, any of my moisturizers. I did my whole full skincare routine. I sure did. I did the whole thing. I had little travel sizes. And like when you buy your cosmetics, most times, you know, they'll give you the little sample size. Keep the samples. Take the samples on the plane. These long haul flight tips are helping me a lot. Mama, listen, if you got to do it, because people think travel is glamorous. Travel is hard on your body. I don't care what anybody says. Trying to stay hydrated, not eating crazy. It's so easy to. Another reason too, you all, I stay out of like the airport in Gen Pop is because the food choices are generally not the best food choices. There's a lot of fast food. It's overpriced. Whenever you go into those lounges, there's always going to be a salad bar, unless you're in Copa in Panama City. That they should close that down. I'm gonna start a petition. Just close it down. Just shut it down. Burn it to the ground. That lounge is horrific. Did anybody Google it? Don't take my word for anything. Google it. Chat GPT and see what they say. The food is terrible. It was terrible. But travel is hard on your body. So staying hydrated, making sure that you can decompress. It's nothing like taking a hot shower on a layover, brushing your teeth, you know, good Lord, I lotion my body all up all over again. I feel fresh. I feel better when I've done that for myself. Yeah. Hey, everyone. Hey, we got new subscribers. Oh, hey, y'all. Hey. Thank you, Venus. I'm so glad y'all found that button. Thanks for tip. I will try to get the first or second flight out to combat. Yes, yes, yes. It makes total sense. Thanks, Venus. Venus figured out where the button is. Go, girl. Because I don't know where it is. I accidentally bumped into Ali just like that. Is that not the best? When I tell you, I am so grateful. I try to always do this in almost every video. I don't know about y'all, but I have my Mount Rushmore of my live abroad um, mentors or idols or people that I admire. And on my Mount Rushmore, y'all know Stephanie Perry, Adelia Abortishe, Rashida Dow, and Tony. If y'all don't know Tony's, oh, I forget what, Tony recently, I don't know Tony's last name. Anyway, y'all know Tony because she spoke at the very first Exodus Summit and she referred to her Social Security as her boyfriend, Luciano. Tony will forever be on my Mount Rushmore because Tony talked me through some really tough times trying to get out the house. And she and I are friends today. And she's now in Vietnam. So I'll get a chance to get over there to see Tony and two of my other friends. Um, I don't know if I can say it, but one of my friends in the chat, she's in Da Nang right now, and another friend. So I've got about really 4 or 5 friends that are currently in Vietnam. And so I'll get a chance to see them. And just, think about that. Running into somebody you know 5,000 miles away from home. Come on. That is priceless. That's priceless. I remember our first unplanned meeting. It was hot and my phone was dying. Yes, yes. I'm telling you, Katrina, she said, Sandra. I'm like, girl, who is that calling my name? Who could possibly know me in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia? It was a brief encounter, but it just, it lifts your spirit. My kids worry all the time, like, are you alone? Not my son so much, because I think, he and I talk, he knows I would tell him, but my daughter, I think, was concerned early on, like, how are you doing that? How could you be so far away from home and be an introvert and not fall into isolation? No, no. I have yet to spend a holiday by myself. I have yet to spend a holiday, not a one. Katrina is here. We have spent Christmas together, New Year's together. Um, I have spent my birthday with, honest to goodness. Um, I spent my birthday with 2 travel sisters last year. It's amazing. Oh, Monica, thank you. Thank you. Hi, where can a Black woman get her hair done in KL? Many thanks. There are braiders here. And if you're here, let me know or reach out to me. You can email me at invest@fromlack2legacy.com and I can send you the person that I know. But I don't know about, like, I have natural hair, so I don't know, like, if you're talking about getting a relaxer, but if you're talking about having your natural hair done, braids, this young lady, she may even do like a weave or something, extensions. I'm not sure, but I know she does braids because she did my friend Frances's hair. And Frances and I spent our birthdays together. Frances's birthday, we were both born in February. So she was here in KL. I have never, Mother's Day, Katrina was still here. Diamond was here, even though I was so exhausted. I didn't get a chance to hang out. But I have never, ever spent a holiday alone on the road. Is that not incredible? Thanks, Monica. Girl, Google. I know you Googled bad, bad, bad with the recent reviews just being a month ago. I would not steer you wrong. When I'm telling you, skip it. Skip it. It's the worst one I've ever been in. It is run down. The food is awful. If there's any food, I would not even lie to you. Scrambled eggs. I'd have felt better if it was boiled eggs. Give me a boiled egg with some salt and pepper. I could manage with that. But scrambled eggs, cold scrambled eggs, they didn't even look like the real eggs. Thank you, natural hair. Yes. Oh, Monica. Oh my gosh. Please let me know. What? For your MM2H? Oh my gosh. When are you coming? That is such good news. I have friends here who also have theirs. Boots on the ground. You already have a community here. I know it sounds bananas. And it can be a diverse community because there's a large expat community and they are warm and welcoming. I'm talking about the diverse group is warm and welcoming. And then there's a smaller core of Black folks that are here who are warm and welcoming. I won't put them out there, but when you get here, let me know. Email me. You can also reach out to me through any social media platform. I'm from Lack to Legacy across all platforms. Congratulations. Yay. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal. Monica, did we meet? Have you been here before? Are you coming like you've been here before? I'm surprised our paths haven't crossed. The people here are warm. I spent Christmas and New Year's last year. I spent New Year's with Anna. Anna was here. She and I went to watch the fireworks. But this year, y'all, I think I'm gonna do it here because I can see the fireworks straight from here. And our rooftop in this building is like it has the most perfect view without having to even go out into the rigmarole. And we can rent the social room at the top. And even if we don't rent the social room, it's like open. People are just milling, in and out. And the pool, you just got to get there early. So I plan to be up there New Year's this year. Last year we went out and it was great. But this year, why go out when I can do it at home? I'm going to do it here. We can watch the fireworks. You can have food. The only thing about it, though, is that you can't drink up there. Now, have I had a little sip of wine up there? Yes, I have. But it was in a coffee cup. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So if you want to have like a champagne toast, or if that's important to you, then, we can always do something out. That's what Anna and I did last year. We did something at one of the restaurants right across the street. And I'm talking about we were able to get right across the street from Petronas Tower, right where we could see the fireworks right from our dinner table. And it didn't cost us an arm and a leg. I'm trying to think how much we spent. Maybe $50, if that. And it included everything. It included your meal, dessert, appetizer, the whole shebangity boodle, and a fireworks show on New Year's Eve. Tell me where you can do that. You can't do that nowhere. Monica, did you buy a house or a condo? In order to qualify for that, you have to purchase property. Not sure what it is, but to be able to stay outside for 10 years is amazing. Yes, Yvette, that's Malaysia's long-term visa. And one of the things that you have to do to qualify is I think you have to buy a property. And I don't know that they specify what kind, In Kuala Lumpur, you can buy a house or a condo. And there is an economic development section somewhere here in Malaysia where you can do it for a little less. And I think there's also a visa where there's a business, like if you have a business or something, I don't know, but the MM2H is the one where you buy property. Yes. That's outstanding. I visited a few years ago. I will buy a house or a condo in a few months. Oh, when you come, please, 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 please reach out. Please. I would love to kind of, if I can, save you some trouble, especially if you're looking at condos. When I tell you I have been in almost every luxury condo building, at least on that side of KLCC, on the other side of the park. Now, on this side, the side I'm on is mixed use because right across the street from me is a bank. I'm in like a business area. There are banks, hotels, office buildings. My apartment building just happens to be like in the middle of all of that. But there are some beautiful residential areas that are purely, lean residential on the other side of KLCC Park. I'll just toss some out there for you, girl. Aria looks nice. The Manor is nice. Of course, the Four Seasons. You can buy a condo in the Four Seasons. Any of the big hotels have residences. So the Ritz-Carlton, I don't think that one ranks as, it doesn't, the ratings on it aren't as nice, I think, as the Four Seasons. There is a Wyndham. You can look at TRX. They have a new condo building, which is really nice, very centrally located. Who else? Hampshire is nice. It's not as new, but it depends on, which one. What else did I see over there that was really nice? I have to look and see. EQ might be nice. I have to look out my window. I can tell you where to avoid too. Don't go anywhere near, what's that thing? Sky. It's Sky something. Hit me up. I'll tell you because I went in all of them. When I tell you some of them, oh my God, girl, I wouldn't send my pet. I spent one of my best Christmas and New Year's Eve dinner in Kuala Lumpur with an acquaintance and friend. Oh, you're coming back. Yay. Katrina, let me know when you make it back. Let me know. Because I want to take everybody. I want everybody to see the Park Hyatt. Child, good time. A time was had at the Park Hyatt. We go to the Grand Hyatt. I told y'all this one before for high tea. But if you want to see like world-class views, that Park Hyatt is something special, and the food is good, and it's not expensive. Yes, that is a big deal, my sister. Congratulations! I am telling you, I am so excited for us. We outside, y'all. We outside for real. Okay, okay. Now let me tell you this. This is the last part, and then we got to wrap it up because I know I told y'all last time that my apartment is 2 blocks from the hostel. It's true. It's absolutely true. This big old deluxe building with doormen and swimming pools and all of that, 2 blocks, I guess it's south of here. It appears if you were to walk through it, like the first time I walked through it, when Anna walked me through it for the first time, I come from Chicago. Y'all know I done seen everything. Baby, when I tell you I was clutching my purse, I was clutching my pearls. Because it's unlike anything I had ever seen. I had not seen it until that day, like the slum part. And Lord, I probably need to use better adjectives, but it is, I don't know. Listen, y'all, this ain't no joke. Y'all know, Chicago got projects. I've been to the projects, child. I had family, friends, acquaintances. My kids used to love to go play in the project because you get to run up and down the breezeway. They had never seen us stuff like that. It's not what I prefer. When I tell you visually, it looks worse than any project I've ever seen because it's just on the outside. And anybody who's been here could can attest to this. There's homelessness here, there's crime here, there's drugs. The only thing that I don't think they have is guns. But every big city ill is here. There's classism, racism, sexism. I'm sorry, y'all. This is just people. So if you're thinking you're gonna travel the world and escape, there's no escaping people. Wherever you go, there are going to be people. Girl, we want you to spend your birthday month here. Come on. And let me get this out the way. Join the doggone study sessions. Y'all know what we do every 2 weeks. The next session is coming up August 26th. Join. Okay, so let me get back to it. I'm 2 weeks from the host, two blocks from the hostel, right? Okay. Well, because Anna took me through the first time and she's like, Sandra, you can let go of your purse. These people not gonna bother you, but it was shocking because it was so grim looking and the energy changed. It was the energy change for me that I noticed first. There were nothing but men. I'm like, girl, it's just me and you out here at night. And all these men, I swear to God, I thought we had walked into like the drug dealing area or it was prostitutes. It was rough. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I have no words. If you want to see it, I can show it to you. But when I tell you, I was stunned and shocked, but we made it through safely. And so when I discovered that that was only 2 blocks from me and I was safe, I walk through there all the time now. I walk through there all the time. This is not a problem. I walk through there daytime. I walk through there at nighttime. And when I tell you, nobody has ever said one single syllable to me. But because I walk through it almost every day, I walk through it at night. I've seen it in the morning. I have had an opportunity to study this area. And I'm going to tell you, this is probably why when I travel, I stay in one place. I appreciate and I love those people who can bop around. When I bop around, child, I lose everything. I lost my glasses. I lost a good bra. I lost my face care, my face soap. When I'm moving too fast, I can't keep up with my things. And I don't like that. I always leave something, it's hit or miss with accommodations. I don't like it. So my style of travel is I usually like to find a home base, settle in, and that home base has to have a great international airport, has to have good infrastructure. It's got to have reliable public transportation, reliable ride share, access to groceries. I got a whole litany of things. And when I find one and I can find a place that I feel comfortable in and it feeds my spirit, I'm a sun baby. When I can get all of that, oh baby, we in heaven. So I don't even mind that the hostel is 2 blocks away. Ain't got nothing to do with me. These are people trying to make a living. But let me tell you, here's my observation. And I know this is true because y'all know it. Once I figured it out, I started doing some research. The men that I saw, it was like just an abundance of men. I'm like, where are all these men coming from? The men are generally from Bangladesh. So because Kuala Lumpur is such a big city and it has such a large it's a touristy place. Many people travel here year after year for tourism. You've got hotels, restaurants, attractions, and all of that is within a couple blocks of my place. So of course, those places need employees. Apparently, there aren't enough Malaysian people who are willing to do that work for that pay. Because, anytime you're in the service industry, anytime you're working in restaurants, hospitality, those are not generally top paying jobs. And so I guess it works for both parties. Malaysia has immigration laws that allow people from men primarily, because I rarely see women. Men from Bangladesh come here because they can make more money in Malaysia, and then they send that money back home. This is the oldest, we know this. This has been going on for forever. It happens in the US where we have Mexican people who come because they can make more money in the US and they send that money back home to uplift their families. We get it. Well, because most of the men that come here, they have families back home, they have left their wives, their children. Can you imagine being a 20 something year old male, 20, 30, 40, and you are away from home for an extended period of time? You're going to need some company. Eventually, you're going to want some company. And so here you have it's almost like open market. I ain't telling this. Look, I'm not telling nothing. I'm just telling you. So when you come and you see it, you won't be surprised. You won't be like, girl, you told us this. I'm telling y'all the whole story. It's like an open market, sex market. The hookers are I need a better name for that because that might seem dismissive. I don't want to say sex workers. The ladies of the night. The ladies of the night have a built-in captive audience. Because when I tell y'all it's a concentration of men, I'm talking about it's unbelievable to see. On Friday night, on payday, you go out there, I'm talking about hundreds. They jam packed in too, because the places that they live in are like dormitories. So because they're trying to keep their costs down, it may be 10 of them. I don't know, because I ain't been on the inside, but you could tell they are jam packed in there because they can share expenses. That means they don't have to spend that much on living expenses. Y'all know how the world works. You know how it goes. And they're maximizing how much they can send home. Well, while they here, they making friends. They making friends with the ladies of the night. But what is so interesting about it to me is that the ladies of the night, over here by me anyway, are largely African women. Now, this is what my eyes told me. So I said, well, let me do some research. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, I challenge anybody in this chat. Google it. Chat GPT it. The men are primarily from Bangladesh because the people who live here in Malaysia are indigenous Malay, Chinese, and Indians. And you can tell, you know a Chinese person when you see them. I can tell a Malay person when I see them. I can tell an Indian person when I see them. You can visually just make a distinction. Now, sometimes it gets a little tricky between indigenous Malay people and Chinese people, but you can tell. And I know Africans when I see them. I mean, that was my first thinking. So I said, rather than make an assumption, Sandra, just start, researching. And sure enough, the women are generally over here by me are from Nigeria, Uganda, and Ghana. And so they provide the service, and the Bangladeshi men pay for the service. So you can see this anytime after 7 o'clock. As soon as the sun go down, they can transact in business. As soon as the sun go down. Now, at first, it was sad, and it's still to a degree kind of sad for me to see it, because I know that some of those people, some of those women, hey, somebody is probably doing it because they want to. But there are some of those women who are doing it because they have to, and some of those women are doing it because they have been coerced to do it or forced to do it. And so there's this whole gamut of, how could you be a human being? How could I be a human being, be a woman of color, and walk past this plight? And forgive me if I mischaracterize it, but how could you walk past this and not acknowledge that these are human beings, that these men wouldn't be here if they didn't have to be? I'm sure they would prefer to be able to make money in their own home country and be with their children and be with their, with their social network, but they are here for a purpose. And these women are, everybody, I'll be honest with you, don't nobody look happy down there to me. Don't nobody look happy. Ain't no, they not down there clinking beers, and chuckling. This is the work. This is out of necessity. And so my first impression was, but then after watching it and really understanding the dynamic of why this exists and how this exists, you can't help but now I see people. I don't just see a seedy business transaction, in a seedy part of town. That's just way too easy. No, after researching it, I understand the economic necessity. I understand why I can see why it's these people. I can see why I don't, sometimes on occasion, I don't want to say it's just African because there's some more sex traffic. If I go up the hill a little, you start to see Thai women, and then of course the lady boys. So it's a whole sex market. It's a whole market. It's a whole marketplace. Anything you want, you can get down there. My first thought was, because when you see that kind of, I don't know, I told y'all the first thing I felt was the energy change. I thought it was drugs. I was like, okay, I know something going on, but because I was moving so fast, and when I tell y'all, my purse was tucked under my neck like this. I could not observe, but I felt the energy change. I was like, okay, this is very different from my block. This ain't like my block. When I, you know, was able to slow down, see it early in the day, see it in the morning, like when they leaving. Because if you go out at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday or a Friday, you could see the remnants. They ain't quite went in yet. Then you get to see a face. You get to see. And so now, I guess my whole point is, when you vacationing is one thing. When you're on vacation, child, you're not paying attention to that. You'll walk right past that and be like, ooh, and you go to what about your business. But when you travel, when you live in a place, which is what I prefer to do, you really get to understand, oh, there's a whole microeconomy that exists that makes this thing here possible. You can go to the Park Hyatt and have tea and crumpets on a budget because these people make it possible. And I'm telling you, it gives me chills. It gives me chills. And it humanizes those people for me. It also brings me in touch with our privilege. So we've been talking about the lounge and all of those things. Let me tell you all something, and I'm going to end on this note because we have gone 2 hours. It is a privilege. We talk about how disenfranchised Black people and women and how mishandled and undervalued we are in the US, and that is all true. It's all true. I would never take anything from that. But when I tell you the fact that we were born in a place where you can make money, we could still make money, y'all. We could make money and move to another place and live like this. That's a privilege. The fact that you got a passport that allows you, them people don't ask me no questions when I come through that airport. Did you hear me? There is an e-gate that I go through. I've gone through that e-gate. I can't tell you how many times. Nobody ever bats an eye. I slide that little American passport through there. Nobody asks me a question. They don't even look at me. They don't question me. They don't ask nothing. That's a privilege. To be able to go to the Four Seasons, to Nobu, to all of the places is a privilege. To I call it arbitrage, to be able to take your US dollar and move around the globe. I don't take it for granted anymore because those people that I see every day, I call them my neighbors now. Before, it was just folks I was passing by, and I was when I tell you I was running through that area, I would run through because I don't want nobody mistaking me for, I understand, but this don't get down like that. First of all, I'm too old for that kind of work. You can't get no work out of me, period. You definitely can't get no sex work out of me. I'm nah. I come with problems. I come with problems. You don't want this. You don't want this kind of headache. But now seeing these are my neighbors. These people have a whole story, and part of this economy runs because they're here. Like it, love it, don't like it. That's the reality. And so it is not lost on me. And so I hope that you all are traveling in awareness of your privilege, because and not to make you feel guilty, because I don't feel guilty about it, because I worked my ass off back in the States. I don't know about anybody else. I stayed at a job that almost killed me for 30 years. I took care of other folks' children when they didn't want to take care of their children. So I don't, there's no guilt, but there is a humility. There's a humbleness, there's a gratitude, there is an awareness that while they might not treat us the best in the US, the fact that you were born in the US, that you can make money there and you can move around the globe, you have free will, is a privilege. And so I walk in that privilege. Yes, I do. I cannot change the socioeconomic realities of an entire society. I can be human, I can be kind, I can not judge, I can, you know, I can spread love and joy. I speak. If anybody makes eye contact with me, I'm not, I don't treat them, you're not like beggars. These are human beings. And so that's how I move through this space. But when I'm sitting up there at the top of that hotel, am I enjoying myself? You're damn right I am. Yeah, this thing's saying goodbye. It's with the knowledge and the awareness that people paid. There are people who sacrifice in ways that we might not find attractive, that make our lifestyles, what they are, which is why I wasn't about to argue with that little old lady and them two Bangladeshi men. I'm bringing it full circle, y'all. I'm bringing it all the way home. I'm bringing it home. When they sent those Bangladeshi guys up here, so you might say, well, son, it wasn't my problem that the thing didn't get cleaned. It wasn't my problem, but I was not about to exert my will over these people who I realize this is a cycle. This is a whole economy. This is a whole micro. This is so when they sent the little Bangladeshi men up 2 times with them little rags, I did not open my mouth. Do what y'all got to do, because I know you got to get paid. Yeah, I will take this up with the higher ups, with the people who should have handled it. And I don't know that I would have had that sensitivity had I not known exactly who they were. They just look like other brown people, but they in fact are not Malaysians. They are immigrant workers. And y'all, I challenge you, look it up. Look it up. Every single soul I have looked it up. There are over 900,000 documented Bangladeshis here in Kuala Lumpur, and they by and large work in the service industry, and they are here out of economic necessity. And unfortunately, the sex workers are by and large African, Thai. They come from other places where they can make more money here than they can in their home country. And so I approach everybody with kindness, compassion, humility, and gratitude. And that's on God. And that's it. On that note, we done. Okay, so Marilyn's telling me I gotta take care of business. Okay. If you are trying to get outside, if you are worried or concerned about your money at all, and how can you live your best life, child, that's what I do. I am here to help. And I'm telling you, our community is growing. It is growing, and I'm inviting you to come. Every second Wednesday and fourth Wednesday of the month, we do financial literacy. Our last session, we talked about, how to get in and out of a trade. How do you know when it's time to buy a stock? How do you know? You listen to YouTube. How can you know for yourself when it's time to buy or when it's time to take profit? And so we went over that. We go over investing strategies, trading strategies. What does it mean? How can you make your money work for you? Because I know everybody in here got $10. If you have $10 and you are not invested in the stock market, you need to see me. because your $10 should be working for you. If you got a 401k, or if you got investments, you got a brokerage account and you don't know what's in it, I'm talking about down to the penny. If you don't know what your money made last year, you need to see us. Not just me, because I host the community, but the women in that community are a wealth of information. I'm talking about a wealth of information. They come from all walks of life. They are wonderful with sharing. We don't gatekeep anything. So do yourself a favor. Join the 1,000 Black Women Brokerage Account Challenge. You can email me for future contacts and questions at invest at FromLackToLegacy.com. And Marilyn always takes care of the business. Thank you, everybody. I so appreciate y'all. Hype this video, share it, get somebody on the doggone thing. I need to get my subscribers up, child. I've been sitting right around 8,000. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Help me get there. It's free. Share the doggone video and tell me what topics you want me to cover. Tell me what you want me to cover. Because I'm going to book Anita. And then we've got to do our health screening again. I'm going to have Cheryl come on. So if you're interested in the supplements, y'all know I'm not an expert. So I'll have the expert come on so she could tell you what kind of supplements you need. Are there any content creators in the chat? Yes, please, so we can shout you out. Oh, hey, Amina. Is that your YouTube at Amina Hanan? Girl, come on. Y'all go over right now because we're done over here. Please go like, subscribe, and share. And Amina, I need to know if you had a little bump in your subscribers. It's 42 people watching. If 42 people right now would just go over to Amina's channel and just subscribe, set your notifications so that you can become familiar with her content, because we don't want you to just subscribe. I mean, that's good. That's a great start. But like the video, share her videos. Amina is a world traveler as well. And right now she is I won't tell, but if you want the people to know where you are, girl, tell them where you are. Go like, subscribe, and share her channel. Shauna, I miss you. I need you to hurry up and get over here to Southeast Asia. And Amina, you need to come. Yep, come on, girl. We're saving you a seat. Next week, we're going to pick up where we left off. We'll be talking about how to plot support and resistance. What's the difference between support and resistance, supply and demand? We're going to continue to talk about a really easy trading strategy. Y'all know my philosophy. Everybody needs to be an investor. Not everybody needs to be a trader. But if you want to be a trader, we teach a very simple, lower risk strategy where you can generate monthly income. I can't make you no guarantees, but I can tell you this. I can make enough using this strategy to pay all of my utilities. But y'all know what my utilities cost. Heck, I'm about I could pay for my utilities and maybe 6 times 4 is 24. I could either pay for all of my groceries for the month, or I could pay all of my utilities running this strategy. I'm trying to tell you something. So you got to get in there. So if you ain't, what you waiting for? Bye. Not before 10. I'll see y'all. Did we say hi? So proud of you, Miss T. Who is Red Arrow? Hey, Red Arrow. Who is that? That's a new one. Amina, love you. See you soon. Yep. Okay. So she shared it. Amina is in San Miguel de Allende. Child, when I tell you that town is storybook, if you have not been to San Miguel de Allende, you need to get there. And if you have not stayed at Casa Elm with Michelle Wedderburn, I don't know what you're doing with your life. That's where Latanya and I met. Gorgeous. That place is storybook. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. It looks like a fairy tale. The Zocalo, amazing. Most beautiful pink church. I promise you. The mountains. I'm not gonna say nothing else, but I promise y'all, I was in an Uber in San Miguel and a man on a horse, him and his horse came right past the Uber. I was like, what in the cowboy town? Yes, horses, ranches in the mountains, crisp air. And Michelle is like the best hostess. She's a wonderful cook, Casa Elm, and now she has Hacienda Elm. for long-term stays. Y'all go. Okay, look. And here's Amina's YouTube channel. Get over there right now. Keith. No. You're going to make me cry. I should have known Red Arrow when I saw it. Y'all, that's one of my former students. And when I tell you, should have been my baby, should have been my baby. I love you, son. I don't know where you are in the world, but you better know you are loved. And I so hate that we did not get a chance to have a proper goodbye when I left Chicago. But if you are still in Chicago, I will be back that way in the fall. We must meet up. That is one of my former students, you all. And I think I might have taught him 2 years in a row. I can't remember because it's been so long. When I tell you I had the privilege of being a teacher and I taught some of the most wonderful students, Keith was one of my absolute favorites. And teachers say that all the time. I'm not even cap. This is no cap. An awesome young man, talented, and I love you. Just so you know. Okay, somebody subscribed. Oh, we got us another subscriber. Yep. And Casa Elm is amazing. Yep. And I haven't been to Hacienda Elm, but y'all, it's on my list. Everyone have a fabulous, joyous week. Thank you. He is an angel. He is an angel, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. Oh, one of the most amazing people ever. Oh, still in Chicago. We got to hook up. Email me at investfromlacthelegacy.com. And when I get back to Chicago in the fall, we got to make something happen. All right, y'all. I'm gone. Amina, talk to y'all later. Later, everybody. I'm going to go work on these hands. Look like I walked in on them. Bye, guys. Bye, bye, bye.